Hello, students. In this lecture, we will continue reading the poem Ulysses. So now, Ulysses says, "This is my son, mine own Telemachus, to whom I leave the sceptre and the isle, well loved of me, discerning to fulfill this labor by slow prudence, to make mild a rugged people, and through soft degrees subdue them to the useful and the good." Now, Ulysses says, "This is my son, mine own Telemachus." Now, Ulysses introduces his own son, Telemachus, and he says that he is my own son and to whom I leave the scepter. Scepter here refers to the authority, the power. So he says, to whom I'm going to leave, to whom I'm going to assign the authority, the power, and the isle. Isle refers to the island to on which Ulysses is ruling over. So he says, I'm giving the power and the kingdom to my son Telemachus so that he can take care of it if I go for the adventure for exploring the world. Then he says, well loved of me. So he's somebody whom I've loved a lot, discerning to fulfill this labor. And I recognize him. I identify him to fulfill this labor, to complete this job by slow prudence. By slow prudence, prudence refers to intelligence, to the power of discretion. To make mild a rugged people. Mild is here to make them more soften. A rugged people. Rugged people are people who are rough, who are a bit uncivilized, who do not know the right etiquette, and through soft degrees. Soft degrees again means moving very slowly. Subdue them here means to mellow down them, to soften them to the useful and the good. So he says, I'm assigning the responsibility of my kingdom, I'm giving the power of my kingdom to my son Telemachus, whom I have loved a lot, and I'm sure that he is going to fulfill the responsibility, this labor, this job, which requires lot of labor, which requires lot of efforts, by slow prudence. Of course, he would be new to this work, so he is going to move slowly. He is going to slowly use his prudence, his intelligence, to soften the people who are uncivilized, who lack the manners and etiquettes, and he is going to move slowly to mellow down them, to make them be more productive and to enhance their potential. Then he says, most blameless is he, centered in the sphere of common duties, decent not to fail, in office of tenderness and pay, meet adoration to my household gods. When I am gone, he works his work, I mine. Now he has a lot of confidence on his son. So he says, most blameless is he. He is nothing to be blamed. He's a pure soul, centered in the sphere of common duties. So he has the regular duties which were actually to be done by me, but since I was absent for a very long time, I went for the war and I was there for around 10 years. So by this time, my family, my wife, my son, they have adjusted themselves, they have managed their work in this way that my son is a pure soul and he has taken up the responsibilities, the regular responsibilities of a household. So he is centered in the sphere. Sphere is the world, is the domain, or it's the area of responsibility. Centered, he is in the center, he is playing a major role, he is taking care of everything, and he is playing a major role in fulfilling all the responsibilities. Decent not to fail, he's doing decently well, he's doing fairly well, and he's not even failing in the office of tenderness. He's not, this is not that, the case is not this, that he has become hard because of, or he has become harsh or very rude because of the responsibilities. Rather, he has even not failed while showing his tenderness, while showing his softness or kind heartedness. So he's kind hearted also. He's a pure soul, he's a kind hearted person, taking care of all the responsibilities. And pay meet adoration to my household gods. So household gods refers to his wife, and he says that he has aptly paid, he has rightly paid adoration, that is respect, to the household god, to my wife, to his own mother. When I am gone, when I was absent, he never failed to give respect to my wife and his mother. Then he says he works his work, I mine. He has taken care of his work, and I'm going to now take care of my work, my job, my desire, that is to sail, that is to go for many more adventures. Then he says, there lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. So, very clearly, very cleverly, in fact, Ulysses has given responsibilities to his son Telemachus, and he is sure that he will take care of those responsibilities. So, in a way, he says that I am free from the responsibilities of the household. So, there is no reason that is going to worry me if I go for more adventures. So he says, there lies the port, the vessel puffs her sail. There gloom the dark, broad seas, my mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine, and opposed free hearts, free foreheads. You and I are old. Old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Now he says, there lies the port. Now he's looking towards the port. He's looking towards the sea, and he says, that is the place that I see the port, and I see the vessel, the ship, the boat in which we are going to sail. And the vessel is puffing her sail. So the vessel, the ship is ready for going for the sailing, for the voyage. There gloom the dark, broad seas, and I can see the broad, wide sea there, which is glooming in the dark. It is the evening time, probably, so it is looking to be gloomy, it is going appearing to be dark. My mariners, souls that have toiled and wrought and thought with me. Now he talks about his fellow mariners, the comrades who have gone with him for various adventures. He says, my mariners, my fellow comrades, these are the people who have toiled, who have made lot of efforts with me, and they have wrought, they have suffered through the bad times also. They were also sometimes in bad shape, and thought with me, they were throughout the journey, they were with me. So have they are the people who think like me, that ever with a frolic welcome took the thunder and the sunshine. He says, these are the people who have suffered with me. May they have made a lot of efforts with me while sailing, while going for adventures. And he says that ever with the frolic. Frolic is very sporty spirit. They are people who have that sportsman spirit within them. So they have always took the thunder and the sunshine. Thunder refers to the thundering, the lightning, that is the bad weather which they have faced in the adventures, and the sunshine. There must have been times when they have sailed very smoothly with lot of sunny days. So he's in a way, the thunder and the sunshine represents the good and the bad times, the highs and lows of life. So he says that these are the people who have always, in a very sportsman way, have always took the highs and lows of life with me, and opposed free hearts and free foreheads. So they have always they have always opposed people who have thought very, very differently from them. So free hearts and free foreheads. So this refers to the contrast. That is, free hearts means people who have only thought about themselves, people who have been self-centered. Free foreheads. Foreheads again means uh, a particular set of mindset, uh, because of which you only think about yourself. So he says these are the people who have never thought about, they were never very self-centered. They never had very strict mindsets. And then he says, you and I are old. old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Then he says, you and I are old. So he's talking to his fellow mariners and he says, now it is the time that both of us, the mariners and I, all of us are old now. And old age hath yet his honor and his toil. And old age brings honor because you get a lot of experience about life, so you are honored, and his toil. Toil refers to the efforts. So he says that these are the people who have made lot of efforts and lot of uh, lot of efforts and lot of they have got lot of experience and they have got lot of efforts. They have done put in lot of efforts also. Yes. So let's take a look at the final few stanzas of the poem. So Tennyson says, old age hath yet his honour and his toil. Death closes all, but something ere the end. Some work of noble note may yet be done, not unbecoming men that strove with gods. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks, the long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. Come, my friends, 'tis not too late to seek a newer world. Now he says that old age hath yet his honor and his toil. Death closes all. So he says that death is something which brings an end to everything, but something before the end. But he says, but I want to do something before I meet the end. I meet death. Some work of noble note may yet be done. He says, I want to do something, some work that has a note of nobility, that is some noble work, and I want to do it before I die. Not unbecoming men. He says, I don't want to be people who are unbecoming. Unbecoming here means indecent, that strove with gods, that fight with gods, that struggle with God. So I don't want to be an indecent person who fights with God. The lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. The long day wanes, the slow moon climbs, the deep moans round with many voices. And he says, the lights begin to twinkle from the rocks. So he says, this is the evening time, and I can see the twinkling of the stars have begun, and the long day wanes. The long day is now coming to an end, and the moon is slowly climbing up in the sky. The deep moans round with many, the deep moans round with many voices. And he says that there is this sea waves which are coming towards the shore, and I can hear the slow moaning voice of these waves. Come, my friends, it's not too late to seek a newer world. And now he's inviting his friends, his fellow mariners. He's sure about his travel now. He says, I don't want to die before doing some noble work, before exploring this unexplored world. And I also have resigned all my responsibilities to my son Telemachus. So now he finally invites his friends and he says, it's not very late now to seek a newer world, to find a new world. Push off and sitting well in order smite the sounding furrows. So he says that let us now sit in the ship, let us now push it off from the shore, and let us now sit inside it. Well in order smite. Smiting is striking with the oars. Striking with the oars means you have the oars, the instrument by which you row the boat. So he says, we are going to smite, we are going to strike with oars heavily so that we are able to take it off from the shore. The sounding furrows. Furrow is the furrow is the water that is being pushed behind. So he says, I can hear that oars are pushing behind the water, and we have sailed inside the we have started with our sailing, with our voyage. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset. He says, I want to go in search of new horizons. He says, sail beyond the sunset. So I want to go in search of new horizons. And the baths of all the western stars until I die. And I want to go to see all the western stars that are twinkling before I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. He says that maybe in this adventure we are going to find huge gulfs, very strong water current gushing, so which will wash us down, which will throw us back. It may be we shall touch the happy isles. And he says, it may be possible that we touch the happy isle. We may go to heaven. Happy isles refers to heavens. So he says that maybe we die in this adventure. It may be possible. And see the great Achilles. And if we reach heaven, we will find the great Achilles. Achilles refers to the mythical Greek hero. Though much is taken, much abides. So he says, although we have undergone so much of adventure, but there are a lot of things to be done more. And though we are now not now that strength which in old days, although we are not this, we do not possess the same strength as we had in the earlier days, which could move earth and heaven. We had so much of power in those times. That which we are. But now is the time to look at the present situation. So, whatever strength we possess is what we possess, and we have to go with this strength. One equal temper of heroic hearts. Only one thing that is very strong in us, that is, our temperament is of heroic hearts. We have the hearts of heroes to go and find out and have more adventures. Made weak by time and fate, but strong in will. Maybe physically, we have become weak as with the time we have aged, we are old, and probably the destiny has made us old, but strong in will. Our willpower is strong. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. So he says that to strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield. This is the most inspiring line, often quoted line of the poem, many a times used by many motivating speakers. And he says, to strive. This is the time that we must struggle, we must seek, to find, and never to yield, never to give up. We must go in for more and more adventures, more and more new things in life, rather than sitting at one place and waiting for death to happen to us. So, this is the ever inspiring spirit of Ulysses, and that makes the poem very motivating and inspiring. Thank you so much for this lecture. So, we will continue reading more poems of the text in coming up lectures. Thank you.